They say they gave me 3 options, but really they gave me 1 option. There were 3 options. I mean, as soon as Dr. V saw the scans, he said, we need to stabilize this. The better we can stabilize that part of your neck, the more complete your recovery. So you can carry on wearing, I think it's called an Aspen collar. So quite an aggressive neck collar that's plastic and whatnot, and it comes up onto your chin, but you are gonna get movement from it. We could fuse it, so they would put 2 titanium rods and fuse C1 and C2, one either side. He said the only problem with that is C2 is left and right and C1's up and down. So when you fuse them, you're probably looking at limiting 50% of your head movement, and doing what I do, that's probably not the best.
There's no way, basically.
And also he did say later on in life, which is also really, it's going to put pressure on the other vertebrae, and there is a chance you might need later operation, another fusion of C3, C4, or you can wear the halo, which is what I recommend. I said, cool, let's go for the halo. And it's basically a plaster cast for your neck. When you break your wrist here, you put that plaster cast on, you can wiggle here and you can move here, but you can't, and it is, the bone is set in perfectly.
Right.
So he said, yeah, you can wear a halo.
And the halo looks like some type of really crazy medieval torture device, right?
Yes, I mean, it's called a halo because there's a carbon ring, and then from it there are these 2 carbon poles that one gets attached here and on your back, and then it's a big plastic plate all the way down to here, and the same on your back. And then how they attach it to your skull is they drill 2 holes into your skull here, and then they shave 2 patches and they drill 2 holes in, and then they get these titanium bolts which are really quite sharp, and they get an Allen key. It's a torque wrench, and then they tighten it, and then basically from here to here you've got no, you just cannot move.
And that way the C2 is in one position,
totally isolated,
and it calcifies and heals ideally.
Yeah. And then the thing that they really were worried about is also the curvature of my spine and the gaps between my vertebrae. Because if you've got the soft collar on, you might always favor one side, and the neck has a kink in it, and it can affect your nerves. So and for the whole time I had the halo, every 3 weeks I was going back for scans and x-rays and doctors, and they'd still always ask me, can you feel your fingers? Have you had any tingles? Have you lost your bladder control as well? So there's still, so it's not like you get the halo, you're out the woods. There's still quite a lot of, process that needs to go on while you're wearing it.
And you're sleeping, standing up, sitting down.
Yeah, I mean, the first 3 weeks I was on quite heavy painkillers, not so much for the neck, more for the screws. I mean, they give you a local anesthetic, but there's not much flesh there. So it's just like, so if they inject it into your gum, there's quite a lot of flesh to absorb it and spread it. But here, so it was quite painful, I must admit, when they're screwing them into your skull. And then, I mean, it's a foreign body. So every day, twice a day, my wife had to clean them with hydrogen peroxide. I couldn't put anything over my head because I've got this big thing. I had to cut all my t-shirts like those guys in Venice, is it South Beach? I mean, I slept in a chair. I actually slept, I slept like this because if I leant back here, the brace would angle and then it would torque more pressure, so it was painful. So literally, and because I slept like this, and you can't, when you close your jaw, you use all your muscles, and I couldn't really use the top one, so I ended up going with my, and it just wasn't nice.
How do you deal with that emotionally?
I mean, I don't know how I did it. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I mean, it's not just the halo, it's just I'm not saying what got taken away from me, but I never got a chance to fight for it, and it's just heartbreaking. I mean, you lean on a lot of people. I was so thankful for my family, my friends, even the larger triathlon community. But no, I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't.